Welcome back, everybody. 10 minutes to the top of the hour now. And the FBI is calling that fertility clinic bombing in Palm Springs, California, an act of terrorism now. Authorities say 25-year-old Guy Bartkiss parked his car near the American Reproductive Center's Palm Springs when it exploded on Saturday, damaging the building's office space. The suspect died, and those who were hurt have since been released from the hospital. But the clinic says there were no patients at the time of the explosion. The embryos that are housed there were not damaged. I mean, that's pretty miraculous. Joining me now is retired FBI agent and former head of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program, Robin Dreeke. Robin, good morning to you. Talk to me more about what investigators have shared so far. They say this guy has nihilistic ideations. They had writings that he, didn't believe in people being brought into this world against their will. What does that tell you about his thinking and his motives?
Yeah, this is a really new one, isn't it? I hadn't heard of it before either, but it just really emphasizes the fact that radicalization doesn't necessarily require political affiliation or religious affiliation. It's just an ideology. And that's what is really kind of scary at this. This is why the FBI is taking this extremely seriously and is going to be doing a deep dive on this, because basically this individual had such deep, dark thoughts about himself and the world that he believes that there should be no sentient life left. And so given a weapon like he had, he's going to take life out because he doesn't believe it should exist. Yeah. And as we're showing here some of these aerial images, I mean, the damage is extensive. But thank God it detonated on a Sunday, right? When nobody was there, nobody was killed. But what does it take to build a car bomb? Like, what kind of background do you have to have? And do you find it odd that somebody who has the capability of doing that detonated it on a weekend? Yeah, it's really interesting too, isn't it? Thankfully, it was on the weekends. There was no other loss of life than the tragic loss of his life. And it was because this is the other aspect of it. It's not just the radicalization of him and how that happened and to be on guard for more, but again, how he was able to build this device and detonate it, but also shows that his immaturity of it, because we don't know yet whether he intended to kill himself or not as part of this. And also, it's interesting, 29 Palms being the place where he originated from. I spent a lot of time in 29 Palms as a former Marine stationed there. And so I'm just curious about his background, his family background, affiliations. And that's what law enforcement's really digging into right now, is where did that capability come from as well? Because it just doesn't happen that someone can build a bomb. Yeah. And where do you think the FBI is in its investigation this morning? If you were heading up this case, what would your focus be today and in the coming days? I'm going to be thinking about really two aspects of this. You have the behavioral aspect of this, that they're going to be doing a really deep dive on this belief system, seeing if there's anyone out there. A lot of times you worry about copycats, and this is a different kind of potential copycat or other people that might emulate him. At the same time, we're doing a deep dive investigation on that network of people around him, where that skill set may have come from for developing this weapon, and hopefully no others. Yeah. And when you speak about copycat attacks, I mean, what does this mean for other fertility clinics across the country who see this headline and other hopeful families and couples? Are they also on high alert in the wake of something like this? Everyone should always be on high alert, just always taking into your environment around you, seeing if anything stands out and is a little bit different. As of right now, this is such a very unusual individual with such an unusual belief system. And they said there's no threat right now that they see, but just always being vigilant is always a good way to walk through life, really, just without being paranoid, but just taking in your environment, make sure nothing stands out from the unusual. Yeah. Talk about a lengthy investigation that now lies on the horizon here. Robin Dreeke, thank you so much, as always, for weighing in.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.